We'd like to begin by acknowledging the traditional owners of the land on which this project is created, the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation. We'd also like to pay our respects to elders past, present, and emerging.
Settle down and gather round for another tale. In the world of Nua, where time has carved and cultivated a magical utopia of wonder, a small group of adventurers unlock the deep mysteries of the land, its people, and themselves. Welcome to the Down Under Dungeon podcast.
Dear Quig, sometimes it is easier to write what I'm thinking or feeling, but this feels different. I could write about Lysandra sneaking off to Yellen's tent and attracting the attention of the blood raven that killed you. I could write about the promise that I made to Louis that I would protect you no matter what the second before it happened. But I won't. I want to write about the moments that flashed before my eyes. When I gave you light to help you read on the train to La Ludud when we first met. When you chased the bandits with me that kinda got us into this mess in the first place. When you got caught by the bear and the blood ravens in their keep, sneaking off doesn't seem to do this party any good. Being a friend after I broke the rocks in the Stone Druid Circle. Fighting off a crush from Holly, who would have been so pissed at Yellen right now. But most recently, when you proved how smart you are and swept Miranda at Liar's Dice. The moment that probably gave you the courage to stand up against the Blood Raven. You promised you would help me get better at Liar's Dice, and that we would play all the time. But I promised I would protect you. You were the best friend a Furbolg could ask for. Love, Feng.
Welcome back to our avid listeners. We would like to take a moment to thank you again for sticking with us for such a long time. Recording upwards of 25 episodes has been quite a challenge, but we're all very proud of ourselves.
We're almost at 25 for the main campaign, but
Almost.
Yeah.
Almost. Technically 25.
Yeah.
However, as with all things, projects always move up and move on. And we are having some changes to our cast here at the Down Under Dungeon podcast. Jeremy, would you like to explain to the audience what's happening?
I would like to first say I've had an amazing time as part of this project and this amazing group of people, and I love that you've been able to see it. But like Emerson said, we have things changing, moving just with my life at the moment. I'm studying, working, have a lot of things going on. So unfortunately, I am having to step away from the Down Under Dungeon podcast moving forward.
Damn the real world.
Yeah, I know. Can the real world just not happen, please? I just want to play my D&D with my friends. But yeah, thank you all for listening, and thank you all. Emerson, Daniel, Amber, and Georgia. I appreciate you guys so much. It is so fun, and I know you guys will keep having fun, and I'll keep listening, and yeah, I'll be there.
It's been an honor to play with you, and we're going to miss you so much.
Yeah.
It's been so good having you at the table.
Thank you so much for helping create this special project.
Yeah, you've been okay.
Yeah. I take back specifically out of my...
Well, unfortunately,
Daniel can cut it out.
you don't...
Daniel, please.
Well, you're not the producer, so... No, we would also like to thank Jeremy on behalf of everyone here at the table. But as always, we'll always be a champion for amateur TTRPG players down under in Australia. And so we are also very excited to have some more diverse and new voices at the table, because our worlds are big and diverse and new, and there's always room for new faces at my table.
Of course.
So with that, we say adieu to Jeremy for now, and we will jump into this week's episode.
With just 3 of us.
Oh my god!
Maybe. The night is cool and crisp. A few whispers of cloud harry the path of the moon as it glints over the Udrud Gorge. Fireflies dance in the warm updrafts. Columns of dancers to the constant drone of cicadas in their summertime symphony. A tableau of serenity and timelessness, looking down at a most troubling scene in the city below. Denizens have been raised from their slumber by shouts and screams. Streams of orphans, elders, and tattooed fanatics clad in sky blue rush into the square of the last lagoon. A lingering fog hangs over the area, casting eerie shadows on the dark stains slashed upon the stone. There, before the lagoon, head dipped, her robes and arms covered in blood, the Mother Yellen begins to decry to the citizens of a band of outlaws who sought to ambush her while she prayed. Jeers and hisses arise from the throngs. The mother rises to her feet, proceeds to wade into the lagoon to cleanse, turns to her guard, and nods curtly. Find me the rest of the Wellspringers. This is my city now. Going back down the initiative order, Louis, I need a charisma saving throw from you, please.
Okay.
Come on, cinema.
That is a 15 plus 7, so...
That's right, the DC was a 14.
Okay.
So you maintain your cool. However, a tingle, a sensation, a familiar feeling, but nonetheless something within you twangs with as much agony as each time before. You had slipped in Lysandra's blood as you nursed her up and into the secret passageway you had just found, grazing your knees and shooting pains into your already flooded mind of bewilderment and fear as you navigate the dark passage in front of you. In here, the sounds of the square are muted, and you only hear the faint breath of Lysandra next to you, and the huge, shifting sounds of Feng behind you. Another faithful friend to the immortal Lady Louis, yet you dare not look behind you at the thing that he carries.
Feeling like Orpheus right now.
How is Lady Louis in this moment? What's going through her mind?
Did she see Quick fall?
No.
Dread, guilt, anger, frustration. At this moment, all she can focus on is Lysandra's arm around her shoulders, the sounds of footsteps, and as she counts, she does her head count. It's her, Lysandra, Feng, and Quig's pattering, nervous feet are not moving. And she knows that the worst has come to pass. And she keeps moving.
Lysandra, at the start of your turn, you take another 4 points of bleeding damage.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Starting heavy today.
Louis, you feel the warmth of her blood, through your tunic and starting to stain your clothes. But Lysandra, you are starting to feel cold. And I'm going to need a constitution saving throw from you, please.
Oh no. That's a 14.
DC was 14.
Okay.
So you do maintain consciousness, but you are starting to... It's very dark in here, so your vision is starting to cloud and blur, and you have to kind of catch yourself and really will yourself to consciousness because there's not much light in this area either.
Oh boy.
I feel her faltering.
You have her supported at this moment. You are able to save on your charisma save, so you're still got it together.
Yeah.
But I feel that maybe in this moment, if Lysandra wasn't so poorly, Louis would maybe let herself feel a little bit more.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of very stoic old woman bullshit at work here.
Feng, I'm going to need a wisdom saving throw for you.
Oh.
Okay. It's a 10.
That is a failure.
Sounds about right.
Oh no.
Blood, the smell, the texture, the temperature. Warm and thick, running down Feng's muscular forearms, braiding itself into the sandy fibers of his fur, staining them ink black. The lifeless form of Quig hangs limp in your massive arms. You had almost forgotten how small he was. Your blank expression betrays a roiling pit within your stomach, of anger and retribution and shame and regret, all boiling to cloud your mind and numb your senses to the reality forming before your eyes. I need you to make a charisma save with disadvantage because you failed your constitution.
Wisdom.
Sorry, your wisdom.
One of them was a nat 20, but it is a 13.
Feng, in this moment, what do you feel?
I think the last words that Feng said to Louis when she was leading Lysandra into the hidden passageway is ringing through his mind in this moment when he said, don't worry, that he'll protect Quig. And then in that moment, he turned around and Quig had just been struck down and killed. And he's almost probably nervously talking to himself, like repeating, don't worry, I'll protect you. Don't worry, I'll protect you. Don't worry. And like hanging 60 to 90 feet behind Louis and Lysandra because he doesn't want to show Louis that he failed, even though he knows, she already knows.
In that pit of despair, Feng, you start to almost like a iron kettle on the hearth starting to like boil over. Within you, you hear a scream, a cry, a lamenting wail rushing forth to your consciousness in a flurry of fire and feathers, and you just hear, it's not a voice, it's almost like a willingness in your own psyche telling you, burn it all, start again. This city was broken. They took Quig, they didn't even know him. They deserve it. They all deserve it.
Oh shit.
See, it's true.
Yeah.
How does that feeling sit with Feng? Does it scare him?
A little bit. I think Feng in this moment has truly witnessed, I think, how broken Lulladraut is. No matter how much the Wellspringers have tried to convince people to either stand up for themselves or fight for something or make the city work for more groups of people, there's just always someone who doesn't want to do it, and it's almost like this voice is just saying to him, you can't win right now. There's no saving this place right now. Or maybe it doesn't need to be saved.
So this is how we're going to do this. It's 200 feet to the end of the tunnel. This is going to be considered difficult terrain. So moving normally is going to be difficult. So you have to move half your speed. Lysandra is being carried or led, so you do not need to make these saves. But Feng and Louis, you must succeed on either a Dex or Constitution saving throw to push quickly through the tunnel. Providing Lysandra is conscious, she can provide the help action to one of you.
I did just say that Feng is about 60 to 90 feet behind Louis and Lysandra.
Yes, so you have a little bit more to move.
Shit.
So if you pass that saving throw, that will enable you to use your full movement and action, but this will be at the cost of 1d6 slashing and scraping damage.
Oh, okay.
So you're essentially trying to get Lysandra through this space quickly, and she can't take any more damage. I mean, from a game point view, she does have hit points, but she's still in a very poorly way.
Yeah, not many.
Not many.
Not enough.
So, at the start of the order, that is Louis. I need a Dex or Constitution saving throw from you.
That'll be a dexterity saving throw.
And is that with the help action from Lysandra?
You are still conscious.
Awesome.
Alrighty, so rolling with advantage. That is a 17 plus 3, so dirty 20.
That passes. So you are able to move and take the dash action. So you are 60 feet down this tunnel now. I will roll some damage for you. That's 4 points of slashing damage.
No problems.
And is Louis protecting Lysandra from that
Essentially,
damage?
you see that there are sharp rocks, jagged edges. It would be no problem for smaller children to pass through here. But with your size and Lysandra's burden, these sharp points and snags start to tear mercilessly through your cloth and then your skin. as you try to help Lysandra through this space.
I think it's slow moving as much as they can, like picking a path and the path of least resistance. But every cut against Louis' legs, every scrape, everything is just something that kind of clarifies her and brings her back and stops whatever is going on inside her, that outer pain, bringing just those moments of clarity needed to keep moving.
Lysandra, at the start of your turn, you take another 3 points of bleeding damage.
I don't even want to know how many hit points you have.
She's still conscious
Hey,
at the moment.
hey.
Another Constitution saving throw from you, please.
Sure thing. That's a 9.
Oof.
You find it harder and harder to maintain your consciousness, and you start to see flashes in your vision. A sickle gleaming in the moonlight, a stone bowl shattering, a festering eye, a withering date palm. Feng,
Oof.
I'm going to need your Dex or Constitution saving throw, please.
Okay. This will be a con save. That is a 19.
With that Constitution saving throw, you're able to use your entire action economy as you calm the flames within you. What do you do?
Yeah, Feng just pushes through and moves. His full movement takes a dash action as well, feeling the cuts of the rocks and stuff around the tunnel, just pushing through, trying to get to wherever they're going to.
That's 3 points of slashing damage to Feng, as like Louis with Lysandra, you are also protecting Quig as you're moving through this space at the detriment to your own well-being. You are now 200 feet away.
Okay.
Back to the top of the order, Louis, another Constitution or Dexterity saving throw.
No problems. Lysandra, are you still conscious?
Yes, Lysandra is conscious.
Alright, can I take the help action?
Yes.
Thank you. That'll be a dexterity saving throw. Natural 20.
Nice.
But the other one was a natural 1.
Oh my gosh.
Spicy today.
Everything's a little bit spicy today, I feel.
Yeah, you can take your full movement and dash if you want to, or if you want to do something else. You have your entire action economy.
Okay. I don't think I'm going to dash. I think I'll take my full movement and I'll use my action to cast Healing Word on Lysandra.
Okay.
You regain 6 points of healing.
Nice.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Healing Word's a bonus action, so you can still dash, I think, if you
Okay.
want.
Beautiful. Then I will dash.
That's another 60 feet movement. You're now 80 feet away. Lysandra, at the start of your turn, you take another 4 points of bleed damage.
Okay, at least there's still a surplus in the healing.
Another Constitution saving throw.
Nice, that's a 23.
Very nice.
You banish the thoughts from your mind. Feng, I need a Constitutional Dexterity save.
Okay. That's an 11.
That is a failure. It is considered difficult terrain for you, and you will also take 4 points of slashing damage as you move through. So you are only able to move your movement.
So 30 feet.
30 feet.
Can I try Misty Step as a bonus action, even though I'm carrying Quig? It's almost like he's feeling a bit of resistance from the tunnel in this moment and he's just trying to almost teleport through it.
Can you Misty Step carrying someone?
Not necessarily, I'm just asking in this moment.
I'm going to say, given the tunnel and how dark it is, and you're carrying Quig, I'm going to need a pretty high Arcana check from you.
I feel like, given how I rolled as Feng at the start of this and how emotional Feng is, I feel like even if I roll poorly, I think Feng will just try it, to be honest.
Okay.
I feel like that's how he's thinking, or lack thereof, is going right now. It is a nat 1. And I did say I was still going to do it, so I'm still going to do it.
Oh god. Oh no.
I'm going to Misty Step.
I'm going to roll a d4. This is going to determine something bad.
Oh no.
Commit to the bit, I guess.
Oh, no. Okay. What's the distance on Misty Step?
30 feet.
I don't like that fixed, Emerson.
I don't like this. I'm scared.
Can you roll me a d10, please, Feng?
Sure. 9.
Okay.
Oh
Did I just TP chaos?
no! We can't lose two party members in one set of 10 minutes. I swear to God, if I turn around and you fuckers are both dead in the tunnel, I'll bring you back and kill you both.
Fair. Absolutely fair.
Oh my gosh.
Feng, as you wield this spell, you see as above, as below, as within, as without. You have very poor control over your magic. You're kind of rushing it, holding Quig in one arm, trying to cradle him. You see Louis getting ahead of you in the tunnel. It all surmounts in your mind. You've got all of these voices pulling you. You cast the spell. Louis, Lysandra, you hear the sound of a log that's been in a fire for way too long, and it finally snaps. You are teleported 30 feet ahead of you, which is great.
Great.
But then also 30 feet up. Into the eaves of the tunnel here. It is kind of like a ravine or a crevice.
Like into the middle of the air?
Yeah.
Nice.
I need to know, are you breaking your own fall or protecting Quig?
Protecting Quig.
Alright, that'll be another d6. That's 15 points of slashing and bludgeoning damage.
Ow.
Oh my God.
As you hear this initial crack, and then suddenly a huge thump as Feng falls to the cave in the distance behind you.
Ow. I feel like Feng is just muttering to himself. He's like, I'm ruining everything. I always get everything wrong. I'm fucking it all up.
So with that bonus action and with the difficult terrain, you're able to move 60 feet.
Not bad. I still managed to get it. It cost me a lot. So I'm 140 feet away.
That is correct. We now move back up to Louis, another Dex or Con save.
Yeah. I think before I move or do anything, Louis would send a message back to Feng and be like, are you alright back there? What happened?
Feng would pause for an awkward amount of time, as long as the spell allows him. Like he's just responding in the last millisecond, where his voice is just unnaturally high and shrieky, and he's just like, "Oh yeah, everything's fine."
Louis just sighs and then basically mutters to herself and Lysandra, as long as he's moving and as long as he's not dead. And then yes, she will roll. That'll be a dexterity saving throw. Do I have the help action from Lysandra?
Lysandra is still giving help action.
Thank
So
you.
she's conscious.
That is another natural 20.
Oh my God.
You're kicking goals tonight, Louis.
Hi.
You're able to use your entire action economy.
Beautiful.
You can make it the full distance if you want.
Yeah. Does the above table, does that message count as part of my turn?
It's an action to cast message.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, no, I assumed that.
Never mind. Cut what I said.
Having cast the message at the beginning of her turn, Louis is going to move as far as she can and just keep Lysandra out of the rocks as much as possible.
It's another 6 points of slashing damage.
No.
That's
Ouch.
fine. I'm good. And it's that same clarity with that pain, and I think she just starts to say to herself, not sure if it's out loud or in her head, just as long as you keep moving, just keep moving.
Lysandra, at the start of your turn, you take another 4 points of
gosh.
bleeding damage.
Okay.
Are you still conscious?
Yeah.
Yeah.
As Lysandra feels sort of the blood running, and she's probably clutching at her body, trying to stop the bleeding and not having any success, she just faintly says to Louis, I don't want to die. Don't let me die.
Kiddo, you're not gonna die today. If it's the last thing I do, you will not die. Do not fucking die on me right now. Keep walking.
Make a Constitution saving throw, Lysandra.
That's a 10.
Louis' voice seems to start to fade.
Right now.
This is awful.
A mountain range wreathed in shadow, a stained glass window, the bleached bones of a massive serpent. Feng, I need a Constitution or Dexterity saving throw.
Yeah. That's a 21.
You are able to use your full action economy.
I'm going to dash, so move 30, dash another 30, so 60 feet all up. So I'm 80 feet away, and I'm probably going to bonus action healing word on myself.
Right, so you take 5 points of slashing damage as
Ow.
you move through.
Oh,
That put me down to 3 hit points.
oh my gosh.
I've taken 27 hit points this episode already.
Oh my gosh.
27 damage. I heal myself for 6.
Wonderful.
That was a spell slot I wanted to save for Lysandra, but fuck me, I guess.
Keep yourself up. Just
Yeah.
keep yourself up.
Louis.
So I was 80, we were 80 feet before
You moved 30.
move 30, so there's
50
50
feet.
left.
Yeah.
Alright,
So at the start of your turn, we need a Constitution and Dexterity saving throw to
no
move.
worries. That will be dexterity. Lysandra is still conscious, so help
Yes.
action. That is a 12.
12 is not going to do it.
Ouch.
So it is difficult terrain. You're only able to move 15 feet
Alright.
unless you dash and go 30.
I think seeing how unstable her own feet are and looking at where they're going and looking at Lysandra, realizing she's not going to make it terribly far, terribly fast, she's going to healing word on Lysandra and only move the 15 feet.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, thank you.
Healing was a bonus action. You can still move
I can
the
still
full
move.
30.
I keep making that mistake. I'm so sorry.
No, you're fine.
So you yourself take 4 points of damage.
No problems. That is 8 points of healing to you.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much.
Stop trying to kill us. You've already killed one of us.
And then yes, is going to. That's a bonus action. Is going to use full action to dash. And I took 6 points of damage.
Yes. 4.
4. Thank you.
Lysandra, at the start of your turn, you take another 3 points of bleeding damage.
Oh gosh. I'm okay.
Because you give the help action, that's why you're not doing anything for your turn.
Yeah.
But I still need a Constitution saving throw.
Oof.
Oh, the dice were not nice to me. That is a 6.
Again, these flashes start to appear in your consciousness, and they start to move quicker and quicker, and you almost start to feel yourself be sick in your stomach. The whirl of steel and blue linen, the parting of flesh, the taste of revenge, Louis turning her back on you and walking off into the night.
What?
Feng, Dexterity and Constitution saving
The
throw.
fuck are these visions? What is happening? That's a 5.
Oh no.
It is difficult terrain for you to move.
I'm still gonna use my action and dash, so 30 feet, so I'm 50 feet away from the exit.
And how many feet away from the exit are you, Louis?
I moved 15, so
35.
35.
Okay. I rolled another 6 on the d6.
Oh no.
I'm still up.
Ooh.
I'm not gonna be next turn.
Oh no.
God, I don't have enough spells!
Me either.
You start to hear the massive sounds of a furbog literally pulling themselves through a tunnel that is like half their size at this point.
I feel like, yeah, he's doing his utmost to protect Quig, but he's just leaving a trail of his own blood and hair scraped over the rocks and the sides of this tunnel.
Louis, stage please. With the help action.
Is Feng within closing distance?
You can start to see his outline,
I've
yes.
still got a spell slot, so don't stress
Yeah,
too
I'm
much if you...
gonna tell her to give you the help action.
Okay,
Because
fair.
you're struggling with it more than I am. So Louis, with Lysandra's arm over her shoulder, just turns her head and says, "Help Feng. Get him moving." And then I'm just going to roll a flat dexterity, which is a 14.
This close to the tunnel, the DC is a 15.
Oh,
Ah!
come on.
It is still a difficult terrain. You see it starts to slope upwards as you move into this space. You will still take another 4 points of slashing damage.
That's okay. Is just going to use her action to dash and move 30 feet. So is within...
5 feet.
Yeah.
You are basically, for all intents and purposes, at the end of the tunnel now.
Yeah.
So which is good, which means you can start making other checks on your next turn.
Okay.
One thing I want to check is if you told Lysandra to help Feng, is she staying at that point in the tunnel to help Feng? Because if she goes that extra 30 feet with you, is she now too far from Feng to help?
I'm pretty sure you're just staying there until Feng catches up.
I would say
with you.
Lysandra is like waiting there for Feng and is let Louis go.
Okay. I don't know how I feel about that, but okay.
Yeah.
You told Lysandra to help Feng?
I did.
Lysandra, at the start of your turn, you take another 3 points.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Still up.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
You are holding your turn to give Feng the help action.
Yeah, I think Lysandra lets go from Louis and lets Louis continue forward, sort of holding herself up against like the jagged spikes on the wall, and is waiting until Feng is close enough to pull him forward basically and help him through the gaps, even if it means that she's putting herself in danger.
No.
Constitution saving throw, please.
I'm not using that dice. That dice has rolled too badly, and now I'm going to roll terribly. 6.
Oh, God.
With that 6, you feel your knee buckle and you kind of slam to the side of the tunnel and slide down until you're in a seating position. You're kind of caught here in between Louis and Feng. Louis desperately scrambling to find an exit ahead of you, and Feng panting and pulling himself behind you. What do you feel in this moment? What does Lysandra think about herself in this moment?
Lysandra has never felt fear the way that she feels it now. She's always fought other things, other monsters, and has come out on top. And here, she's scared of loss. She's scared of losing. She doesn't know how to deal with it. And that's what's sitting with her as she's slumped against the wall between her two friends that she knows are still alive. She doesn't know exactly what's happened to Quig, but doesn't want to think about it because she knows that she's the reason. And she's scared of what that feeling of loss will make her do.
As you kind of rest your head on the cool stone of the tunnel behind you, you jolt for a second as you see your shadow standing there looking at you in the tunnel in front of you. Feng, I need a dex or constitution saving throw.
Okay, just before Feng moves, he's going to use his last spell slot to cast Healing Word on himself. That's a 1 on the dice.
Oh no.
Gets 5 hit points back. As though he's giving himself his last bit of energy to try and push through to the end of this tunnel. He sees Lysandra stop and wait for him, and he's just calling out to her and saying, "No, you're hurt, you need to keep moving, what are you doing?" Do I have the help action on this?
That's what Lysandra held the action
Yeah.
for, so
Okay.
yes.
That's an 18.
That passes.
I feel like because furbolgs have the ability powerful build where they count as one size larger for carrying capacity, so I can carry 2 people. And so I feel like Feng is just like ripping through to the end of this tunnel. He puts Quig over one shoulder, rushes through to Lysandra as he's trying to tell her off and waiting behind for him, saying, "You gotta protect yourself, what are you doing?" And then just heaves her over his shoulder and pushes through to Louis to get to the last 5 feet and push her through to the entrance of the Mortician.
Are you willing to take a little bit more damage to do this?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have 1 spell slot left.
Louis, like an elderly person looking for their glasses, you're kind of like on your hands and feet at the end of this tunnel trying to find some kind of exit. And just as you've placed your hand on what appears to be a smooth oak panel in front of you, you kind of hear this furbolg roar from behind you, and this mass of fur and blood and Lysandra pushes past you and pushes into this panel, which for a minute strains against the pressure and then pushes off, and you all tumble down into a room. Feng is unconscious, having taken 10 points of slashing damage.
Well,
Louis sees Feng fall, just basically screams, "No!" and is going to use her last spell slot to bring him back up with a healing word.
Okay, Lucky, it's your turn. So you bring a Feng back up.
Really bad roll, but 7 points of healing.
Thank you very much.
Give me a perception check, please, Louis,
Yep.
as you come to.
Literally just saying to Feng, don't you dare, don't you dare.
We are not out of it yet.
No. Perception check?
Yes.
7.
As your eyes seem to adjust, and after you cast the spell, it kind of grounds you in this place, you see that the obstacle at the end of the tunnel appeared to be the back of a mirror. And as you look around into the objects in this room, you realize that you must be on the ground floor bathroom of the septic speakeasy. Though you had never entered for the out of order, you know what you did sign emblazoned on the door. In this moment, it occurs to you, Louis, that the many stories which had been strung of the true cause of the bathroom being permanently decommissioned may have had a purpose behind it, especially now when you see a huge boiler, a sink, and receptacle tanks for water. It is clear that the proprietor of the speakeasy had indeed fanned the flames of these rumours, if not sparking them herself.
Good old Kibbles.
Lysandra, at the start of your turn, you take another 3 points of bleeding damage.
Okay, she's still up. Just.
You are in this space now. The fresh air is giving you clarity, but you are still very weak. You can make a check if you'd like to, or you can keep holding your action to give one of your peers a better roll.
Lysandra will hold her action to give Feng the help action on a perception check.
Okay, as you help Feng to his feet and start to pull some rubble out of his there's a few lines in his face, and you're just grabbing a stone that had been lodged into his cheek. Feng, it's your turn.
I feel like Feng's feeling a little bit delirious and is just going to say to Lysandra and Louis and say, I think we need to get somewhere to someone that can help us. Maybe Vanessa at the mortician's.
We're real close.
We're real close.
Let's get there.
Okay. So with that help action, he'll roll a perception check with advantage because he knows that there's potentially a secret entrance to the mortician from here. It's a nat 1 and a 5 on the dice.
No.
At least
So-
you didn't critical fail.
It becomes a 9.
A 9. As you push open the bathroom door, and when I say push, I mean you force it open because it is blood. With a 9, you see that the ground floor remains largely as you had left it a few days before, or a day before, other than a few less items that Dr. Kibble Anthrax had deemed worthy to take with them. Chairs and tables are stacked and pushed against the wall, and a large wooden bar has been placed on the inside of the premise. Most of the shelves on the central cylindrical bar have been cleared. You also, with a 9, I will say you do see the small spiral staircase to Kibble's loft, which has been extended and left, granting passage to the second floor.
Yeah, Feng's probably just still feeling those emotions of panic and terror and fear and is just looking around frantically and he's just like, I can't find it. Where do we go? Where do we go, Louis?
It's okay. Let's take a breath. Take a minute. We can't do anything if we're panicking. Breathe with me. All right, in. Hold it. Breathe out. I'm going to do the same perception check to try to find the entrance to this mortician's. That is a 17.
At 17, you see everything that Feng has seen. The only things that you notice that he doesn't are there are a few bottles left in the shelves that have been left over with this very clear, almost lime cordial-esque liquid inside of it. But apart from that, you don't see any obvious entrance. You do remember that the mortician Vanessa said that the tunnel between the speakeasy and the mortuary was used to dispose of bodies. So it would probably be in a discreet place.
Yeah. With that process of elimination, Louis is going to point at the staircase as everyone kind of coalesces in the middle and say, we gotta go up. There's gotta be some kind of passage through the second floor, and starts to just drag it in like a trail of kindergartners up the stairs.
I'll say as you're both helping Lysandra up, there will be another round of movement to get up the stairs to the second floor.
I feel like Feng in this moment has also probably tried to hide Quig's body as much as possible, not wanting to like hold it directly while they're all talking. How he does so, who knows?
I will say Louis has absolutely clocked it.
Yeah.
Has looked you in the eyes, but has not said anything.
No, for sure.
I don't think Lysandra's fully registered it yet.
No.
I think all the fucking fever dream like visions while she's been trying to stay alive have just been her front of mind. And when you like put her over Feng's shoulder, she probably like saw a figure, didn't realize it was Quig, and hasn't fully registered it yet.
Yeah, I think Quiggy is still draped over my right shoulder.
Alright, so you take another round of movement to get upstairs. That's another 2 points of damage to you, Lysandra.
Do I need to make another constitution save?
I was just in the tunnel.
Okay, cool. Okay.
Having never been invited upstairs, you see now that the proprietor of the speakeasy had used the space as part laboratory, part lounge, and part sleeping quarters. The shadow of a 4-poster bed looms in the corner, as well as an oval rug before it. The top of the cylindrical bookcase pushes through to the ceiling, now mostly empty, and a few tattered squat armchairs litter the space, covered with stains and holes from a myriad of spilt solvents over the years. I will now need an investigation check from Louis, please. We'll start at the top of the order again.
Ooh, that is a 19 plus 2 for a 21.
Oh, very nice. You're rolling so well tonight.
Touch wood right now.
We have to celebrate it when it's happening.
I'm so scared right now.
Louis, with that 19, you definitely see some more of these bottles of liquid. One thing does catch your eye though, and it is a portrait of a very handsome dwarf. It's composed of deep oils, and it sits somewhat crooked on a wall. He tugs a beard of smooth black curls and dons straps of boiled red leather, and clutches a huge gnarled club in one hand. He almost seems to wink at you, or at least his eyes seem to follow you around the room.
Sir, I'm a lesbian. Thanks, but no thanks. Seeing that it's slightly crooked on the wall, Louis would go up and try to see if there's anything behind it.
Give me a strength check.
No worries. Oh, this is not good for a woman. If I get crushed by this painting, guys.
How did Louis die? Crushed by a painting.
Don't say that.
She got Rembrandted. The drive-by Rembrandted.
That's a critical success.
Oh my
goodness.
gosh.
I was looking at your dice and I was like, what?
What is that?
What is that?
It's a critical success.
That is so cool. Louis, with steadfast determination, you walk up to this dwarf and you rip the painting off the wall.
Ew, man.
That's for quite a few episodes.
Oh man.
Behind it, you see a space, a smooth, angular chute chiseled diagonally back into the rock face of the gorge. Not like the tunnel you just left. This is like a smooth chute more than a tunnel.
Slip and slide down to the mortuary. Let's go.
Oh no.
As you help Lysandra into the space, you begin to slide slowly down the smooth stone, before crumpling into a pile in the corner of another gloomy room. The roof is low, leaving only height to comfortably sit. At the far end, you see an opening and a set of winches and cables. Feng, can you make a perception check with advantage with
Sure.
Lysandra's help action?
Yep.
It's a 3 and a 9. I'm rolling.
Gosh.
So that becomes a 13.
13. The room is mostly bare, save for a few low shelves and an enormous oaken table in the centre, upon which you see a cadaver, perfectly wrapped in tight linen with a glyph painted onto their chest. On the far side of the table, you observe an opening of a deep, spiralling pit. Luminescent lichen wreathing familiar niches, carved and cascading down into the side of the walls. A decrepit, crane-like contraption dangles precariously over the expanse, presumably designed to move corpses down into the empty niches. Now you can give me a history check if you'd like.
Sure. 6.
Oh my gosh.
You think you've seen tombs like this before, but in your state right now, you cannot really remember when.
Feng's obviously quite unfocused, but I'm assuming that I can at least equate it to Vanessa.
Yes, it appears
Yeah.
you're in the basement of the mortuary.
Yeah, so Feng will point it out to everyone and say, well, that's got Vanessa written all over it, so at least we're headed in the somewhat right direction.
Yeah, let's keep moving.
Hopefully she can help us.
She will.
So at the start of your turn, Lysandra, take another 2 points of bleeding damage.
Okay.
Keep it low, keep it low.
How are you?
Alive. Barely.
Sweet. We will go to the top of the order. Louis, Feng describes what he sees, and as your eyes adjust to the gloom, you also see that. So essentially, you have an opening to your left, which is essentially like a cylindrical, almost like a space that you would cut out for a fireman's pole. And there's like a pole and a winch there to the left of you.
So we need to get further down to get to where Vanessa might be.
Up. You are
Further up.
currently beneath the
Right.
floorboards of the
Okay.
mortuary.
Okay, alright. Can I move over to the poles and winches, see if I can find the mechanism that activates this?
Yeah, you see it's a simple pulley system, and there are a number of like clasps and metal widgets that connect to clothing and things. Presumably someone would be able to clip onto this rope and with its help climb up the pole.
Okay, one at a time, up we go.
Let's do it.
Can I hold my action until Lysandra's started to head up, just in case anything happens to her so that I can catch her?
Yes.
So I will hold my action until after your turn, Lysandra.
Okay.
Okay, Lysandra, we'll roll another round of damage for you, and then we will... So it's another 3 points of blood loss.
Lysandra goes to begin climbing and immediately slumps over, unconscious.
The sound of a body falling stirs someone above, and you start to hear shouts in the room above you.
As soon as Lysandra falls, Louis is moving over, just cradling her head. And
So sorry.
No, you're so fine.
The damage is taken at the start of your turn, so you still do need to take a death saving throw.
Ah,
Okay. I don't know if I want... No, I'm going to use that dice. I'm just going to do it. I don't trust any of my other dice. That's a 6 for a death save.
That's 1 failure.
Okay.
Feng, it is your turn.
I feel like Feng, with the weight of Quig still slumped over his shoulder, watches Lysandra put a hand on the pole and immediately fall unconscious. And he says to himself, no, I can't let another friend die. And so he rests Quig's body down, picks up Lysandra and tries to carry her up.
Okay, give me an athletics check with disadvantage.
I have a powerful build, so I count as one size larger when determining carrying capacity. Can I mitigate that disadvantage?
This is climbing, not carrying. I will say if with the winch and with that feature, I will enable you to roll it flat.
Okay. Thank you. What am I rolling?
It is an athletics check.
Okay. It's a dirty 20.
Oh my gosh.
The DC was 18.
Oh.
Louis, as soon as you see Lysandra go limp, you see that there is a split second and in a flurry of fur, Feng moves so quickly beside you and snatches Lysandra up, hitches her to the pulleys, and in 3 very fluid movements, pulls Lysandra up to the 2nd floor. Feng, that is your action and your movement.
And I'm immediately just calling out as I'm getting her to the top and saying, Vanessa, it's Feng. The Wellspringers, don't get scared. We're not here to hurt you. We just need some help, please.
Emerging into the space, you see the laboratory quiet and packed away. Thin linen sheets are tucked neatly over each of the sunken spaces, and a hammock made of the same material rigged across the space, presumably where Vanessa had been sleeping not moments before, now hangs empty, and you see Vanessa moving quickly towards you.
Help her, please, please.
Okay, I will now roll initiative for Vanessa.
Okay.
Vanessa needs to move before Lysandra in order to render aid. Lysandra, your initial dexterity score in this initiative order was a 7.
Okay.
She has, unsurprisingly, a -2 to dexterity.
I don't know, that Butcher's pretty mobile.
I'm going to roll. That is a 19
Oh,
-2.
Okay.
Louis, an athletics check, please, to get up the pole.
She hears movement upstairs, takes one quick glance back at Quig, and just says, "We'll be back," and is going to try and move up the pole. That is a 19 plus 2
my
for a
gosh.
21.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, Louis, you are able to you quickly figure out, having watched Feng go up, how this contraption works, and you're able to quickly ascend the contraption up to the ground floor. And you see the wide eyes of Vanessa having been aroused. It's early in the morning. You are just starting to see the glint of the sun rise outside. After Louis, luckily, it is Vanessa's turn. She is going to cast a Cure Wounds on you. You see, she looks to Feng and says, "Help me with her. Help me clear a bay." And Feng, you assist her in removing the linen on one of their chargers.
yep.
And they lower you down into one of these pits for Vanessa. She is now going to make a medicine check. 16 on the dice. You see, as she begins casting the spell, Lysandra, you see she almost so delicately touches certain points on your body, certain pressure points. Do you speak Elvish?
No, Lysandra speaks Sylvan.
No. So a few words you pick up or here and there, but the majority of it is in High Elven, and you start to feel yourself relax. It's almost like an analgesic, and you start to feel yourself move off to sleep as she restores your consciousness.
What's an analgesic?
Kind of like
It's like an anesthetic.
an anesthetic.
But like the opposite, or what? No, because she's relaxing, right?
Yeah.
As soon as Lysandra's breath returns to her and starts to slow and her eyes close, she turns up to look at you, Feng, and Louis, covered in blood. You probably look like an absolute mess. Keeping in mind, you're still in the clothes that you wore to Miss Miranda's car
Oh
saloon.
my gosh.
Or what's left of them.
Well, Feng's disguised self ran out, unfortunately, so he's back to his usual.
Yeah, Lysandra's dress that Louis made is just in tatters. It's kind of like when Cinderella's ball gown was shredded to pieces, but this is 100% worse.
Oh yeah, Louis, you like stifle a whimper as you see like she's like cutting Lysandra out of her dress and like just to get towards these wounds.
That took me so long to weave.
But anyway, she turns to you two and says, "What happened? How did this happen? Who did this?"
There's a lot that has transpired in the last few hours. There are people in the city that are looking for people who caused a disturbance. We would currently appreciate your discretion and will explain everything.
We'll tell you everything, just please help her. And Quig, maybe she can help Quig. Louis, I'm sorry.
I know.
Vanessa, is there anything you can do for someone that has died?
You see Vanessa kind of shifts in her chair and looks at you, Feng, and says, "Well, look, I'll do what I can for Lysandra, but my work is with the dead, not the living, but I'll do my best. My job is to ease the passing onto the next world, Feng. What are you asking of me?"
Well, I know that sometimes like high-level magic users, like even the druids sometimes can bring people back to life, so surely as a mortician there's something that you can do. Just bring him back.
You see she has a sad but somewhat understanding look cross her face, and she regards you, Feng, and says, "I have no doubt some of the druids would be able to bring someone back, but that skill is beyond even me, even if he hadn't been touched by this." And she gestures to Lysandra. These wounds, they were caused by a wicked blade, difficult to suture. The wound is refusing to close, even with my magic. She will need rest and tonics if you want her brought back up quickly. This is not an easy fix. I lament your loss. I truly am, but I can't help bring someone back. But I might be able to keep someone here. But I need you to help me.
Then you have to give him a proper burial. You have to send him off like you send all the other ones off.
Of course, Feng. Feng, you should all get some rest. I'll do what I can for Lysandra now, but you're no good to me in the state that you are right now. Actually, you know what? I don't want to know what happened anymore. This is honestly traumatic enough. Let me tend to her. Get some rest if you can. You see Vanessa helps you set up a few more hammocks in the room. You all cast nervous looks at Lysandra. After a while, you see when Vanessa is satisfied with her condition, she very discreetly moves down to the second floor, to the basement, to start her work on preparing Quig. How are you guys resting in this moment?
I think as we set the hammocks up, Louis just says a very quiet thanks to Vanessa. I don't think she really has words at the moment, just glances at Feng, looks at Lysandra, thinks of Quig, and just climbs into the hammock and takes the rest that she can get.
Feng?
Feng watches Louis climb into the hammock and just says, Louis,
Yeah?
I fucked up. I said that I was going to protect him. I said that I was going to do anything I could to save him. And he died. What the fuck is this?
This is life, kiddo. This is the frontier. This is exploration. This is making friends. This is getting into dangerous situations that we can't handle. This is what happens when we go in unprepared, as she looks over at Lysandra. This is what happens when we take risks. This is why I kept my people in the commons. This is why I'm chasing down the ones that left, because the ones I care about, when they go, they're gone.
And
it's not your fault.
Kinda is.
You weren't the one that struck the blow.
I was the one that pulled us off that carriage in the first place. I'm the reason that he was there.
He was going to end up here one way or another. All of us in this city are facing the same risks every day. We can't focus on what might have been, or what could be, or who we could have been if we made different decisions, because life doesn't give us the chance to reflect. It sucks, it hurts, it's awful, and you can feel responsible about it all you like, but you were not the one that struck that blow. Quig was a hero. He turned and he faced down what he could to protect us.
Heroes deserve a proper toast. And Feng will pull out the expensive bottle of wine that Kibble threw to him as they were getting ready to leave the city, crack it open, take a swig, and hand it off to Louis as they get ready to take a short rest.
She holds it, takes a sip, sets it down. Come here, you big lug. And she just moves towards him and holds him.
Feng just bursts into tears, screaming about how much life sucks. Just my usual Friday nights.
In this moment where the remaining members of the Wellspringers rest in the mortuary, you see Promi manifest himself in the rafters above and starts to sing a low, slow lament. And after a while of regarding Promi and each other, and the sobs turn to sniffles, and the sniffles turn to tears, you eventually encourage each other to get some rest. It's not good rest, but it's enough. And that's where we'll end our session.
Oh. Yo, that was a fucking heavy one. Holy shit. I mean, obviously we knew it was going to be tough with Quig's death, but like that actual encounter of us getting through the tunnel was obviously not at all what I thought.
Yeah. Man, my hit point, like, array is wild.
Yeah, how many different hit point totals do you have scribbled down all over your page?
So many. Oh my god.
It was right at a nail biter there.
That was definitely a nail biter.
Yeah.
Especially when you realise that it wasn't just getting through the tunnel, like you still had to find the other tunnel.
Yeah.
Well, it was so funny because I went into that like, yep, I've got 2 first level healing words that or even cure wounds that I can use on Lysandra. Like, this is going to be sweet. And then I had to use them on myself.
No, really good team. I endeavour to ask about a selfless plug this week?
So a couple of weeks ago, I had the absolute pleasure of attending for the second time a LARP called The Dance of Ribbons. It is a heavily story-based and roleplay-focused LARP that is held in Warrandyte in Victoria. It is the second LARP I've ever attended, which the first one was the first iteration of this. I cannot explain how life-changing it has been to go to and to participate in and to live within the world that has been created for this story. If you guys want to have a look, I would highly recommend if you search Come Close and Listen on Instagram or A Dance of Ribbons on Instagram as well. It will all come up. There's some photos from this year's LARP that are coming out in the next couple of days, which is really, really cool. And yes, highly recommend. I loved it. It's very fun. Go have fun. Go participate in LARPs.
Cute. I've always heard so much about LARPs. I'm too scared to try. Because I also know there's so much time.
It depends which one you do. Like, this one's just a weekend. It's Friday night to halfway through Monday. And the whole thing's, like, fully catered. You camp out. Everyone dresses up.
Cute.
It's really, really cool how they run it. I have no words for how good it is. But yes, also a really great entry point into LARP. It was my first ever LARP. They run it with workshops. They do like 3 workshops before the actual event to teach you like the principles of generous play, which is basically just don't make yourself the center of your own story. Give what you can to others to further their narratives, and they'll give stuff to you. And then they give you an introduction on the like clans and cantons, so the clans and kingdoms of the country. And then it's like the general character development workshop. So they kind of go from the macro to the micro, and introduce you to it really well.
It's almost like a session 0.
No, it's absolutely brilliant. Highly, highly, highly recommend.
Sweet. Don't forget to check that out. And as always, don't forget to follow us on Instagram at Down Under Dungeon Podcast. Like, comment, and tag us in any of your fan art, or email us at downunderdungeonpod@gmail.com. Also, please give us a 5-star rating on both Apple Podcasts and Spotify. And as always, we will see you next week.
We'll see you then.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.